In this video, I'll be doing a plant spotlight on an easy to grow from seed, beautiful annual called Gomphrena globosa, commonly known as globe amaranth. This is a no-fuss, drought-tolerant, and pest and disease-resistant plant. We'll go through my experience growing Gomphrena in my Zone 6B garden and how it performed throughout the growing season. Gomphrena is a sun-loving, summer-blooming annual in zones 2 through 11. Before you start your Gomphrena seeds, you'll need to soak them in water for 24 to 48 hours. You can start them indoors 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost date and transplant them out after any chance of frost has passed, or you can direct sow them outside after your last frost date. I direct sowed my Gomphrena seeds up and down my walkway border, here right in the front, in about mid-June, and a month later during my July garden tour, this is how big the seedlings had grown. I had small plant plugs all up and down my front walkway. I spaced these about 6 to 8 inches apart. About another month later during my August garden tour, you can see all along my front walkway border, the Gomphrena plants had really filled out. And at this point, you can back off on the watering because they are a really drought-tolerant plant. And if you overwater them, you could cause a little bit of powdery mildew. But I'm happy to say we had a really dry summer, and these performed extremely well for me. By the time the September garden tour came along, the plants have now filled out to the point where they're touching and creating a really dense border all along the front of my walkway. The pollinators absolutely loved these plants, and they were always abuzz with bees and butterflies. And to top it off, the deer stood away. I have a lot of deer problems in my garden with them always browsing and eating my plants, but they did not touch my Gomphrena. This front walkway bed is in a full sun disposition all day long, and the Gomphrena absolutely loved the lighting in this area. They do bloom best and more prolifically with more sun. Gomphrena isn't fussy about the type of soil that it grows in, but it must be a well-draining soil. The variety of Gomphrena that I grew here is called the Atomic Purple Gomphrena from Baker Creek Seeds. As we headed into the fall, this is now my October garden tour, and as you can see, the Gomphrena is still going. The trees had started to change color, and this beautiful annual was still blooming its head off. And I couldn't be happier with the results that I got from this one pack of seeds. This was my first experience growing any type of Gomphrena, and I was really thrilled with the outcome. This really was a summer through frost blooming annual, and one that I hope to grow for many years to come. It works well with so many other annuals and perennials. Here I had it interplanted with some strawflower. We made it all the way into November with this beautiful annual, and we were just a couple of days away from our first frost. So I decided that it had had a good run and it was time to start pulling up these plants and getting ready to collect some seed. I took a bunch of cuttings from the plants of some of the blooms that had already begun to dry, and I threw them in a bucket, and I put them in my basement so that I could collect the seed. The blooms that I collected yielded a ton of seeds, and so I have plenty to grow in my garden again another season. The front walkway looked so bare and clean after I removed those plants. This year, I am ordering another variety of Gomphrena from Baker Creek, and I will be trying the Snow White Gomphrena, and I can't wait to see what they look like. I hope that you've enjoyed this spotlight on Gomphrena. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up button, and please consider subscribing so you don't miss any of my future videos, and we'll see you soon.